Hello and welcome to another St. Luke's cookery clip. Today we're going to make Mexican rice. So, for Mexican rice you will need to have a large pan. It could be a saucepan or frying pan, but it must have a lid with it, okay? So you need to have some form of a pan with a lid. I advise you to get all of your ingredients ready and prepared before you start. So I've got everything ready. This is going to be for to serve 4 people. So I've got my onion chopped up. I've got 2 cloves of garlic chopped up. I've got roughly a cup of rice, a cup of sweet corn, half a cup of peas. I've got my spices ready, which is cumin, mild chili powder and paprika, salt and pepper, and a can of tomatoes. I've got plum tomatoes. In the ideal world you'd have a can of chopped tomatoes, but I haven't got any in stock, so I'm going to use those, which are completely fine. So, and also boil the kettle and get your stock ready. So whether you choose to use vegetable stock or chicken stock, either's fine, but that's going to be half a litre of stock ready. So you're going to get your pan reasonably warm, and then you're going to put your onions in, and you're going to cook them for about 5 minutes just to soften them up. You don't want them to be turning brown, you just want them to soften. And so while these are softening, you could get your kettle on and get your stock ready. See you in a minute. The onions are softened, so now I'm going to add my chopped garlic. I'm just going to cook those for a couple of minutes, just because garlic doesn't take long to cook at all, and it can burn quite quickly and easily. Then it has a sort of bitter taste to it, so just needs a couple of minutes in the pan to cook through. And then in a minute to that I'm going to add my cup of rice once it's just cooked through a bit. That will do. And I'm going to add my cup of rice, and I'm just going to stir that rice around in my pan, absorbing all those amazing flavours from your onion and your garlic and your oil. It'll only take a couple of minutes. There we go. And then to this, we're then going to add your chicken stock or your vegetable stock, whichever you're using. And that goes. And then your chopped tomatoes, in that goes, if you have chopped tomatoes. Just going to give those a little chop up myself. That will do. And then my peas. Oh. And that goes. Sweet corn. So obviously you can see that this is a lovely, well-balanced dish. You could, if you wanted to, add some beans to this dish as well, because obviously we've got some lovely carbohydrates and vitamins in here as well with the vegetables. So if you wanted to add some protein, you can also, say, cook off some chicken and add some chicken to it. Or you could add some can of beans, maybe pinto beans. So I'm going to now add about 1/4 teaspoon of cumin. About that much. In that goes ground cumin. I'm going to add about 1/4 teaspoon of mild chili powder. and about half a teaspoon of smoked paprika. And then some salt and pepper. So I'll just give that a stir. Now the nice thing about doing your own spices is that you can vary the flavour. So this is going to be a fairly mild Mexican rice dish, but you could make it far stronger flavour. You could put more chili powder in, you could put fresh chilies in if you wish. It's up to you. As I say, that's the nice thing about making your own meals, is that you are in control of the different flavourings and you can adjust it to however you like it. So I'm just going to bring this up to the boil, and then once it's boiling I'm then going to put the lid on and then make it simmer for about 13 to 16 minutes ish, so that most of the liquid is absorbed into the rice. So I'm just waiting to see some bubbles come up, and then, as I say, I'll put the lid on, turn down the heat, set my timer for about sort of 15 minutes ish, and then I'll leave the lid on, and I won't be tempted to take the lid off at all. I'll just leave the lid on while it cooks for the 15 minutes. See you then. The rice was cooking for about 15 minutes, and then I gave it a bit of a stir, and then I just let it sit for about 5 minutes, so that more of the liquid is absorbed into the rice, and then you can just serve it up. As I say, this serves a family of 4. Here we go. Oh, this is very nice with a wedge of lemon, or lime. Again, I forgot that earlier. So I'm just going to put a few fresh herbs on top, like so, and then maybe a little bit more pepper. There you go.